Welcome back. I am here today with our department head report, which is part of our CEO report every Thursday morning. And today we welcome Christine Spahr from Resident Services. Good morning, Christine.
Well, good morning, and good morning to our residents.
Good morning to our residents is right. It's you are the first person that they would see. Your department here at the community center, the Resident Services Business Center, is one of the most welcoming and warm places that people can come to handle all of their concerns.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, most of the time, we only see them once, and that's when they actually come in to get their ID cards, to tell us that they're making leasing arrangements, or they've just made their newest purchase.
Yes.
And so we might not see them again, and so it's very important that we have a very open environment when they come to visit with us.
You do have an open environment. There's no longer any long lines to wait in. There's some chairs to relax in, and cookies.
Oh yes, there's cookies and there's a TV set so that we can enjoy if there is a little bit of a wait. As any front counter or front service center, you know, there are times where there are a little bit of lines, but we move them along pretty quickly because we have every one of our stations open, ready to serve.
All the stations are open, and the whole business center here in our community center, it's different. It's changed, hasn't it?
It has, and that's because we wanted to have a warm, inviting environment. It's very important for us to know that when we have a place or even a call-in location, that a resident can feel very comfortable calling and that we're there for them.
That's true, and you're there for them during the business week, of course, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but now Saturdays.
That's correct.
From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's the call center that's available on a Saturday, right?
You're absolutely right. We're there and ready to assist.
It's so wonderful. And of course, Resident Services, you all handle just about everything. I mean, normally you would think to call Resident Services when there's a problem with your manor or villa or maybe something in the area around it, but now you handle some other things too.
Yes, we do. Well, at the front counter or the business center, you know, we have alterations and permits. Oh. We also have moved broadband down to the first floor, so they're at window 9.
Yes.
So we're moving toward a one-stop shop, which means that whether you're coming into the front counter or whether you're calling into the call center, we can answer any questions that you have, and we can process any tickets for any services that you need as well.
That's wonderful. So the one-stop shop is a great idea. You come in, now you can make this initial contact with the Business Center or with Resident Services either by coming in here to the Community Center, or you can call, or you can go online and you can make your request or your request for information there. And then what happens after that?
Well, we process the ticket. The ticket goes out into the field to be worked, and then it is scheduled for that particular day. Okay.
And then out in the field, you now have a better way of communicating right back to the main office.
That's correct. We have, right now, we are rolling out the opportunity for field service workers to go out with their service order in hand.
Oh.
And they'll be able to take a picture of exactly what's happening out at the location. And then they can also work the order.
Yes.
And then in the future, they'll also be able to close the order. Wow. What that's going to mean to us is that if you call in and you would like information as to are they coming, what time are they coming, we'll be able to give much more instant information. And so that's where we're actually headed in the future, and Chuck Holland is working on that, and we're going to be rolling it out sooner than later.
That's wonderful, and everybody knows that that's so relieving when you know exactly when this help is going to come and how long it's going to take, and you have someone really documenting what's happening during the whole process.
That's correct.
That's great.
And customer service will be able to give the information because we have the information at our fingertips, and that's the goal. The Resident Services is to make certain that we have all the information that a resident would like to have or needs to have in order to feel comfortable with the services that we're providing.
Now, you've become Director of Resident Services in the past 8 months, but this is not the first time that you've been Customer Service Director. Tell me a little bit about your background. How'd you get started in this field?
Well, I started out with my mom's and dad's business.
Yeah.
We owned a bakery business, and so I was the sales girl. It was either that or bake cakes. And I decided, no, that wasn't for me.
Right.
After which I went to Ma Bell. I have 20 years experience with the city of Anaheim, a combination of the city of Anaheim as well as the city of Riverside.
Those are big cities.
Yes, they are. I manage the Public Utilities Customer Service Division, and in Riverside I had the opportunity to actually start the first city call center, which meant instead of looking up a directory and calling 200 numbers in the city of Riverside, all we needed to do was to call one. So it was a one call does it all. And that's another direction that we're going in for the future.
So this is really a great vision, and you're a big part of this. One call does it all, and you were able to do that in quite a large city in Riverside.
Yes, we were. We had over 250,000, well, 350,000 residents, and then we also had over 149,000 public utility customers.
Oh
or
my
accounts.
goodness.
So it was big.
And so this bakery of your parents, was this in our neighborhood or?
No, actually, I was raised in Staten Island, New York, and I've met many residents as they've come in and told me that they're from the East Coast, and it's been kind of fun sharing what our adventures on the East Coast, and some of them are even from New Jersey, and that's where I was from. A military husband brought me to Anchorage, Alaska, and where I joined the public utilities of the city of Anchorage, Alaska, as a customer service rep, and then from there I sort of worked my way up.
So your calls in Anchorage, Alaska was, I've got a moose in my backyard.
That would be about the size of it, or at the mailbox.
There's a moose in my mailbox.
Or there's a bear running through the parking lot.
A bear, yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. While on the flip side, in the city of Riverside, we had residents would call, and we always joked that they'd call, and if they wanted to know how long to cook a turkey, we'd find the answer for them.
No way.
And that's exactly what we want to do here. We want to be the environment that's going to look for the solutions and be able to fix the problems.
And you do have the nicest people, because I work here in the community center as well, and I get to interact a lot with the guys and the gals you have working in your department. They are so patient, they're so funny, and they're well trained.
Well, thank you. Yes, they go through a formal training, which is also complemented by a mentor.
Yes.
So they spend part of their time in the training room and in a more formal setting, and then another part of their time is actually with one of the best CSRs that we have on our floor. We have wonderful customer service representatives.
You do?
And they are just business professionals, and they want to do a good job, and I'm so excited about working with them.
And their training includes things, they have to kind of know pretty much about everything so that they know how to direct certain requests certain ways.
That's absolutely right. And what the real plus is as they're in training, they still get to work in the call center or at the front counter. In the call center in particular, we can actually isolate the calls that they're efficient at taking. And so we're able to look at the skills and the areas of expertise of those particular employees at that time through the training. So we can get them on the phone a lot faster because we're training in pockets that will give them more skills and expertise as they go along.
Because that expertise could be, how do I add a beam to my villa or manor and change a wall and get rid of a window, to I've got a couch that I want to get rid of, to my mom needs a companion.
Exactly.
I mean, it could be any one of those things.
Yes, it could.
Or how do I bake a turkey? I mean, how long do I cook a turkey?
Well, we haven't gotten any of those kinds of calls yet, but I see it in our very near future.
Well, and you do have a really fun group there. They are the kindest people. They're just fun to hang out with. And you don't get to hang out very long because now it's kind of streamlined down there in the business center.
Yes, it is. We have very comfortable seats. We have very accessible center where our CSRs are, where they can take care of the residents. As we mentioned, we do have water and cookies. We are very aware of who's in the center. In the future, we're going to be going to a queuing system. So when you come in, you just give us your name, what kind of task would you like us to do, what kind of service are you looking for, and you'll be able to go have a seat, and then we'll call Mr. Smith or Mr. Jones up to the window when it's available.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so we're looking forward to that. We also have a welcome center. And the welcome center is wonderful. That's where you would get your IDs and take care of any of your leasing arrangements. We have Carolyn and Kim in that area. They are absolutely wonderful. And this is sometimes, as you mentioned, the first contact that they have, that a resident would have with us. And it's just very warm, very friendly. They know how to do their job. At the same time, at the front counter, we have people who have had a year experience with us to people who have had over 15 years experience.
Oh.
And they are just a wealth of knowledge.
Total wealth of knowledge. And you know, I sit at the desk now here at the community center that used to be the broadband desk. Now it's my desk.
Oh, okay.
I don't do broadband. I don't do broadband. So and I have to direct people to the business center, to Window 9, where broadband is now. Broadband's at Window 9 now on the first floor, just so you don't know. Just in case you don't know. And the people I meet are the fun, they are the funnest, nicest people that just kind of come in saying, is this where it was? I bet the residents that you meet are just delightful.
I have a completely different appreciation for a retirement community.
Yes.
And I get so excited when I see residents at our front counter. It's just so much fun to go out there and say, hi, how are you doing? You know, offer them some water or even a cup of coffee if their length of time with us is going to be just a little bit longer. And I now know where I want to retire when I grow, you know, when I grow old. You know?
When you get there.
I mean, I've already retired once and now I'm back to work.
You already retired?
I've retired for a year.
You came out of retirement.
And I came out of retirement. And that's because I really felt that we could make a difference. And I felt that as we get older, we want to make certain that we have the services that we expect.
Yes.
And to meet everybody's expectations is our goal, you know. And I get excited when I see our residents. I get excited when I see our residents at Starbucks.
Oh, yes.
And I just, you know, it's just such a wonderful, warm atmosphere. And I'm so glad that I'm here.
Well, we're glad you're here too, Christine, and thank you for being here with us on this day to tell us a little bit more about resident services.
Well, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you to all the residents for giving me the opportunity to be here and to work for them.
I'm sure that they all feel the same too. The residents here are fantastic.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
Well, thank you also for joining us this morning and hearing a little bit more about resident services. You can contact them by calling their number, reaching them online, or also just walking right in here to the community center and visiting the business center, where you can meet all of the wonderful staff ready to help you. And do stay with us after this. We'll be right back with Ken.